The governing vessel, or Dumai, has 28 points in total. The first point, Du1, Changqiang, is located between the anus and the hiatus of the sacrum, right here. Du2, Yaoshu, is located here above the hiatus of the sacrum. Remember that Du meridian points are located under the spinous process of the vertebrae. The point Du3, Yao Yang Guan, is located under the fourth lumbar vertebra. To locate this, we first locate the iliac crest, which is on the same level as L4. Once we find L4, Du3 is below its spinous process. Du4, Mingmen, is located below the spinous process of the second lumbar vertebra. To find this, we need to locate the iliac crest to identify the spinous process of L4. From there, we count upwards. And located below the spinous process of L2 is Du4. Du9, Ziyang, is located under the spinous process of the seventh thoracic vertebra. There are two ways to locate this, either by locating the inferior border of the scapula to find T7, or by counting down from T1. To count down, we first need to identify C7 and T1. Then we count down T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, and T7. Just about the same level as the inferior border of the scapula. And under the spinous process is Du9. Du13, Tao Dao, and Du14, Da Cui, are located below the spinous processes of T1 and C7 respectively. So once we identify C7, we know that Du14 is there, and the spinous process below that is T1, so Du13 is there. Du15, Yamen, is located half a chun within the posterior hairline. The measurement between the base of the occipital protuberance and the posterior hairline is approximately 1 chun, and so halfway of that is half a chun, where Du15 is located. To locate Du16, Fengfu, we need to find the occipital protuberance. The point is in the midline, at the base of the occipital protuberance, which is 1 chun within the hairline. We know that the measurements from the anterior hairline to the posterior hairline is 12 chun. To locate Du20, by Hui, we divide this line into half to find 6 chun. Then we divide the anterior half into 3 parts of 2 chun. And then we divide this part into halves again to get 1 chun. This is Du20, located 5 chun from the anterior hairline and 7 chun from the posterior hairline. As we know, Du16 at the base of the occipital protuberance is located 1 chun above the posterior hairline. Therefore, the distance between Du20 to Du16 is 6 chun. So to find the points in between, we divide this into half to get 3 chun to find Du18, Qiangjian. Then halfway between Du18 and Du16 is Du17, now Hu, while the halfway point between Du18 and Du20 is Du19, Ho Ding. So now we have found Du16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. To find Du21, Qian Ding, we divide the 12 chun between the anterior and posterior hairline into half to get 6 chun. We then divide the posterior half into 3 sections of 2 chun and divide this section into 2 parts of 1 chun. From this point, we have 7 chun from the anterior hairline and 5 chun from the posterior hairline. Now, we have to divide the 7 chun into halves to get 3.5 chun from the anterior hairline, and that is do 21. To find do 22, Xin Hui, we divide the 12 chun between the anterior and posterior hairline in half. Then we divide the anterior half into 3 parts to find 2 chun from the anterior hairline, and that is do 22. GV23, Shangxin, is located 1 chun from the anterior hairline. Like before, we divide the 12 chun in half to get 6 chun. Now we divide the anterior half into 2 parts of 3 chun, and then further divide this into 3 parts of 1 chun to find do 23. Do 24, Shen Ting, is located half a chun within the hairline, so to find it, we just have to divide the 1 chun from do 23 in half, and that is do 24. Do 27, Dui Duan, is located right here in the midline, between the skin and the lip. The last point of the do meridian is do 28, Yin Jiao. The point is right here on the frenulum, in here.